Good evening and welcome back to Allergic to Stupidity. It's been a quiet day. I'm in my warm cozies, wrapped my shawl, blankie, whatever we're going to call it, because it's getting to be fall there. And to put it in perspective, this is a very tiny little room at the front end of my house that is basically a dorm. So it's the three sides, like there, and straight ahead, is exposed to the outside. So it can get chilly in here and some days. So I just automatically have a something wrapped around me or warm cozies on me. So, and I have my hot chocolate for today. So I've got a couple of points today. One of them is yes, I like to point out when things are working and when people have got some really good ideas and things like that. And then the other one, if any of you have ever done house construction or renovations on your house and you know what you're talking about, you're going to go on this person. That one I've been watching for 3 years and killing myself laughing. But the first one is, and I actually have mentioned messaged these guys. And I'm going to give them a call out. It's Dempster's bread. And they have replaced those stupid plastic paper ties with a tie. It's exactly the same thing, but it's made of cardboard. So it goes in my burn pile. It's fantastic. I know it's just a little thing. It's just a stupid little, but it's probably cheaper for them to produce than the plastics. And I can throw these in my burn pile. And if they get out in my yard for whatever reason, I don't really have to worry about it. Get wet and it's going to disintegrate because it's literally, folks, is paper. That's it, grand total. But it was like, I want to give a shout out to Dempster's for doing this. It's a small thing, but every little bit helps. And as for some people, well, how long is it going to last? Because I can see that, right? That's all we all said about the paper straws. But I've never had a problem with my Tim Hortons paper straws. Not that I get straws very often because I think they're a waste of time, money, and effort. Just take the lid off and drink, right? But I mean, this loaf is basically done, and the is just now starting to bend. So I'm really impressed with that. So that's one call out I wanted to make. That's a good idea. And the other one, actually, there's three right here. This is, I've got two young men who live in my house, so they both drink beer. And they'll stop off at the beer store, the liquor store, and pick up a 6-pack to share every night or every couple of nights usually. Well, one of these, usually you're used to seeing a 6-pack completely sealed in. And I wanted to pat these guys on the back because it's still strong enough to hold the 6 beer. And yet there's no waste of cardboard there or there. And I know it's just a little thing. But this is a good thing because they're using less cardboard. And the less we use, the better. The other one is now I'm not a pop drinker at all. I have a little 7-Up with my Glenfiddich at Christmas time, and that's it. I'm not a big drinker, period. It's my warm cozies that make me through. Okay, so this was one. The other one is Keith's now come out with, it's literally just the top section, and they have made little grooves in here to hold the cans. So you literally just grab the top of it, and there's just like this one, there's a little handle at the top. You pull it, and there's 6 cans hanging from it, and you just pop the can off that you want. So instead of not even having this much, literally the only cardboard is really what's on the top, and that's it. And it's too thick. It's 2 layers. That's fine. It's got to be strong enough to hold the cans of beer, but that's fine. But it'll hold it, and that way there's that much less. So somebody's thought outside the box, and I want to give them a thumbs up here. One is Keymore, which even if it's just that much less, it's that much less. And Keats. And the reason it expense Keats is because whenever my daughter, who doesn't live close by, comes home, her brother always buys Keats, and that's the click for that one. So that was a thumbs up. That's a really, yes, like that. The other one, and I said why I mentioned that I don't drink pop a lot, is because Pepsi's doing the same thing. So if you look at Coca-Cola, if they have a 6-pack, they're all held together with those plastic collars. So you can just grab it and you've got your 6-pack. It's great. Well, Pepsi's done the same thing, except for they're using heavy-duty paper, which is great. I haven't asked anybody in my house. I have an absolute aversion to plastic. Like, if I can avoid it, I don't have it to the utmost. So to be able to say, I don't want pop in my house, but if there's going to be a pickup, then I'm more comfortable with the Pepsi. I don't like pop anyways. There's too much sugar in it. It's not good for you, etc., etc., etc. But that was another call out that I really wanted to make, that this manufacturers are starting to clue into that they can actually make the consumer happy by the convenience of a 6-pack, but also make us annoying, environmentally oriented people happy too by using something that's more easily biodegradable. And I realize you're going to look at it and say, well, there's the life cycle and how much. If it's cardboard, we have to cut down trees, and the picture's not as simplistic as what I'm making it out to be, versus non-biodegradable versus biodegradable. And I get that. I do understand that. But when it comes to the things that hold the Pepsi, the pop bottles, 98% of us do not cut the stupid rings into small pieces so the animals won't find it. Like, let's be realistic. Humans, generally speaking, are pretty lazy and they don't want to be bothered. So the cardboard ones, even if it was to fly off, and let's be a worst case scenario, a little animal gets their neck around it. Well, if it's a duck or a bird, a duck or a goose or something, they're going to go in the water, and cardboard doesn't like water. And so it disintegrates. So those are my thumbs up for that one. And now, for any of you who have done renovations and want to go, oh God, here it is. This has been 3 years of me laughing, and it's not at my house. Because if anything's happening in my house, it has to be perfect. I don't argue, don't discuss, don't debate on that one. So, an annoyance for me. Across the road is one house that there was a gorgeous old house built in the 70s. The person across the road tore it down and is rebuilding one. Geothermal, fancy bells and whistles and all the rest of it. Which he is following every rule to the T. I still think he's an idiot for tearing down a perfectly good house so he can build an environmentally friendly house, which is sort of an oxymoron, because ripping down the first house, which would have all gone to the dump, is not being environmentally friendly, but he's building an environmentally friendly house. So it's a little... But next to it, this is the killer. So I don't have my years perfect here, but I'm believing in 2021, the house next to his, so just north, was sold. Couple had bought it and they were going to do so much stuff with it and just decided, no, we'll just sell this house that we just bought and we'll buy one farther up the road that has the in-law suite. It'll be just so much easier. And I really could see their logic, because the one that I'm talking about is basically a bungalow. So this gentleman, city slicker, and for those of you who live in the city, that doesn't necessarily mean a derogatory comment to you, but just trust me. So he buys it and decides he's going to flip it. We wonder why we have a housing crisis. This is one of them. So he goes in and buys it for 1.7. Now, first understand, it's 3/4 of an acre, which for people from the city, that's a lot of land. For some of us around here, that's not, but that's okay. So he goes in and he starts to do renovations, and it goes on the market 5 months later, and he's upped it to 2.2 with the add-on that if you want, we'll renovate the kitchen and the bathroom for you too, for extra. So you told me that you've increased the price of this house by $500,000, and the only thing you did was give it a paint job, and here's the killer, a gate in front of the driveway. There's no fencing going down the sides of the property. It's just a gate in front of the driveway and a wall for half of the front yard. That's it. And he increased the price of the house by $500,000. I just quite again, you're an idiot, it's not going to sell. Anybody in their right mind? Well, Senator Gundy didn't sell. So then gets some more humors. So that was 2021. Goes on the market for 2.2. Doesn't sell. Takes it off the market. Just he and his buddy. This should give you the flag. He and his buddy decide they're going to renovate it. Trust me, this has been my entertainment for 3 years now. Now, this house was a bungalow, like I said, and on the south end was downstairs was the garage, and above the garage was the master bedroom. It used to be a friend of mine's house. This is how I know what the layout is. At the end of the master bedroom was a really nice balcony that his parents would go out on. Like we're talking like 12 feet. 3 or 4 roof trusses, that deep, like it was deep. It was gorgeous. Now the house was very simple. It was that was their choice. So this guy in 2022 who decides to renovate decides he doesn't want the balcony. Okay, but what does he do? Well, of course, think of an F. I'm not sure how I can draw this, but the overhang from the roof is here, and then there's upright posts going down to the floor of the balcony, and then under the floor of the balcony are more support beams going down to the ground, because there's also obviously the floor of the balcony is an overhang for the garage. So my friend's parents could pull in under that overhang, get out of the car, open up the garage without getting wet. It was a really cute idea. Okay? So this guy decides he doesn't want the balcony anymore. So he just cuts the support beams off. And I remember driving by going, there's something strange about the house. What the heck? So I did the nosy neighbor routine, parked my car, put my walking shoes on, and went for a nice slow walk past his place. I got even and went, oh God, he didn't. And sure enough, he'd cut the support beams for the balcony, between the balcony and the roof. So now there is like 3 or 4 roof trusses worth of, now realize how far apart roof trusses are, with nothing supporting it. Nothing holding up that end of the roof. And I went, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. This is pure physics, the weight of that roof, whatever. So, okay, his problem, not mine. But so much for that house. I'm driving home one day, coming basically southbound. I'm going to make a turn into my driveway, and as I'm passing that house, I'm going, that roof line doesn't look right. Like, what's with the roof line? That's slanted. So again, parked my car. This time I wasn't trying to be not obvious. I just walked to the road and looked, and sure enough, now I'm exaggerating, it went across and then down with the balcony over here. Because of course there's no uprights to support the flipping roof. So that end of the roof is falling. I just walked up and told everybody in my house, and they went, Mom, you got to be kidding me. Beth, you got to be kidding me. And they went down and went, oh, shit. So I'm thinking, you're an idiot. Sure enough, 2 or 3 days later, he's got 2x4s propped up against the edge of the house and the corner of the roof that used to have support beams holding it up to hold it up. Well, you have now damaged the structural integrity of the roof. By the way, this guy's doing all of this without any building permits. There's the extra topper. How can we tell? So I'm going to sit back and just laugh. Now, I have already called the city a couple of times going, does this guy have building permits? Because he's doing a lot of renos. And I mean, I had to get a building permit just to replace my septic tank. And they went, nope, it doesn't have any, there's no building going on at that place. Oh, yes, there's building to build a small garage. Okay, whatever. So I'm sitting out there one day. Now, by this time, he's figured out that he's messed the roof. The roof's garbage. So he starts to take the roof down. Or something. He's up on the roof doing something. Him and his buddy. And I'm sitting there going, I'm not losing this. I'm really not. The whole roof is sliding towards the front of the house. Like the roof is falling forward onto the front yard. I'm going, oh God. top it off, the hydro post went through the roof, like where mine goes up at on the outside of the house. His literally goes through the roof. So as this roof is coming down, I'm going, it's going to take the hydro post down. Like, everything's connected. It's going to take the hydro post down. And I know there's still electricity attached because I can see that somebody's living in the basement. About 3 days later, the hydro guys showed up. Hydro was disconnected. Somebody got smart before the whole roof came down, and they started taking the roof down. Oh, well, getting a little bit smart. His smart move, he hired contractors. He got like, okay. What did they end up doing? They ended up having to take the whole house down, completely down to the foundations, and rebuild from the foundations up. And now he wants, last time I checked, I take it back, it was on the market last year for 3.2. The realtor was around checking to make sure his sign looked pretty and all set up and nothing had happened to it. And I was bringing my garbage cans up. And so he helped me. And I said, any interest in the house? And he just looked at me and said, you got to be kidding me. Absolutely got to be kidding me. I went, okay. It's off the market again. There's still nobody living in it, but they've now dug up the backyard. Well, here's a reality check. I live in the country. We're all in septic fields. So what he's done is dug up his septic field. I hope there was a good, solid, logical reason for that, because I know my septic field's old, like it's pushing 70 years old. So I'm sort of putting money aside in case I have to redo my septic field because they don't last forever. So that's not a cheap thing he just did. So guys, I'm a DIYer, but there's certain things in my house I won't touch. One is electrical, one is plumbing, and one is construction that's going to be support beams. Like getting my son and I to put up a wall, to divide the laundry room, and it's not supporting anything. That's fine. But he knows what he's doing. I hold the nails and hammer the nails, and that's grand total. But anything is structural? No. So this story is for all those people out there who have done construction on their houses, or are thinking of DIYs, and I'm going to do some renovations to my house. Please, use your brains. If you're not comfortable doing it, don't do it. Think before you act. And think about physics, because that balcony and the roof falling off, that's gravity and that's simple physics. My grade 9, 10 science students would understand that. That's a lot of weight. Anyways, so that's my stupid part of today's chit chat, and my pat in the back, because I like to give pats in the back, is to Dempster's and replacing their plastic bread tags with cardboard bread tags. I probably did cost them less, but mine is more, it's environmentally friendly. And like, I'm one of these people that I'm willing to pay the little extra, like my charger for my tablet. I don't mind paying the extra if it means I'm going to be a little more environmentally friendly. It's worth it. And then the beer companies that are starting to come up with ways to not a 2-4, because the 2-4 you sort of need the whole case. But 6 packs are really nice, and you can get the just the top, and you're grabbing the top, and there's 6 cans. And I literally, because I take the cans back, I just turn that upside down, turn the cans, and I can slide it right back in where the cans came out, so I can use it to get my empties back to the stores to be recycled. So, anyways, there you go. Hope you give a smile. Hope you enjoyed. Okay, so just a closing off. I think my next video is going to be how this YouTube channel actually came about. It was caused by an allergic reaction to utter stupidity. But please hit like, please hit subscribe, share if you think people are going to get a laugh out of my stories, or shake their head or nods kind of stories. And a heads up for anybody who's out there. The comments are turned off for a reason. Okay? these are my opinions and my thoughts, and I'm sure there's people out there who don't agree with my thoughts or my opinions, and that's fine. You're allowed to. We're all human. But I have enough on my plate. I don't want to be responding to people who are going to argue with me about how this should be done or that should be done. This is literally my way to vent out into the world with the or the smiles on my faces or things like that. So that's the reason the comments are turned off. But one of these videos I will go into exactly how this lovely channel came about happening. Take care, guys.